Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to our Road to Glory here with Derby. We are ready to go. We've gone through quite a little bit of the season already, and if you are excited to see where we're at, then make sure you smash a massive thumbs up on this video. As you can also see, we are sitting 24th in the league, which means currently we are rock bottom, but that is not to be unexpected is probably the best way to put it, because we obviously started with a negative 20 something points start to the season, which is negative 21 points in the season. But we have played 8 games so far. We've won 3, which was a 4-1 win against Stoke, 1-0 against West Brom away, and 2-1 against Middlesbrough. We've had 2 draws with Hull and Peterborough, and we've lost 2-1, 1-0 and 2-1. So we have been in every single one of these games so far this year, which has been massive, because our media prediction was that we're going to finish dead last. If I go season preview, when it wants to load, hopefully it loads very soon. Even with the signings that we've made, we are still predicted to be dead last. So it's obviously going to be hard for us to overcome this start of the season with being negative 10 points at this stage. But look, it's a long season. It's a 42 game season. We could easily get our way out. Teams like Cardiff, so we've beaten West Brom and we've beaten Stoke so far this season. We did lose to Birmingham, which is a bit annoying, but we're actually not, we are far behind. We're, 15 points or so behind safety, or 16 points behind safety at the moment, but it's not the end of the world, because we've got plenty of time, not even a quarter of the way through the season. This is the schedule though. So we started off with a 2-1 loss to Huddersfield. I'm going to show you some of these games, because look at this. Derby, 18 shots, 3 on target, and we were 1-0 down. We got a goal back in the 25th minute, but then we conceded a 95th minute penalty to lose that game there. So, points are hard to come by at this point. But against Peterborough, I think they were better than us. No, we were better than Peterborough, and it took an 89th minute equaliser for us to get something out of the Peterborough game. Hull, I reckon we definitely were the better side from memory, which we were 26 shots to 9, and they scored a 92nd minute winner. So we've dropped 4 points in the 90th minute so far this year. Then Borough, we won. Nottingham Forest are a very, very good side, and I expect them to do well. And we had 16 shots to 9, and we just couldn't get it done. So at this point, this is pretty much when I started making some signings, was after that Forest game. And, against Birmingham, obviously we got a 2-1 loss after being 1-0 up, which was frustrating. But I went out and got lots of loan signings, and this game could have easily gone either way. But the team does look very different to how it did in episode 1, which is good in a way, because we've got some really good players in, and there's going to be some names that you guys probably recognise. So I'm going to utilise that, and Buchanan at left back. So people that we brought in, let's go transfer history, and we're going to go as new, and anyone that was from around here. So he was already here. So Jack Jenkins, we got in on loan from Leeds. So he is just in that midfield 3 rotation. So is Harvey White, who is pretty solid. And then we've got Miles here, who's playing more as either the Mazzala or the attacking midfielder. Cottrell, he hasn't got a game yet. He's probably a little bit below where we're at. Liam Delap is going to start every single game for us as the pressing forward. And then Aziz is also going to play for us. So in this game, we are taking on Sheffield United, who are in 6th place. So if we can somehow take away another 3 points off of this reduction, that would be absolutely fantastic. This is not going to be an easy game whatsoever. This is going to be very, very difficult. They want me to change those up front. Delap is going to play, I don't know. I'm thinking he's just the advanced forward, because he's just better than everybody else. Plange is better as the pressing forward, and he's sort of got less technical ability, if that makes sense. So at least if he's just putting the pressure on, then he just needs to try and sort of find the ball to our boy Delap. We've got Lawrence there in the number 10 role. We've still got a few injuries, which is frustrating, but we're getting Kazim back in a week, and he is a very good player. And we're also missing Bielik, who's still out for another 3 to 4 months. If we could get him back, we would be absolutely flying. And you're not too good either, and Solomon's just a promising centre-back. And we're lucky that we're in a position where we've got lots of high potential players in and around the squad. I do want to bring a spare midfielder at the expense of you, probably, because Jack Jenkins is actually quite usable. So let's get into the game. I am very excited to see how we go. Let's pump our fists and get these boys excited, because can we somehow find a result here against Sheffield United, who are one of the teams that you'd kind of expect to be in and around the playoffs region of the league, I should be saying, because they do have a very, very solid squad. But we're playing some good football, and I was quite apprehensive initially to use the narrow system, but we have played really, really good football, and that's the thing. For a team that's been predicted to be bottom, we've only lost our games by a goal, and we've dropped points in games in the 90th minute as well. And obviously, it probably, there's a quality element, and I probably should have got the business done a bit sooner. But end of the day, the team's here on paper now and playing good enough football. Maybe that run sort of comes to an end, but as we said, the priority for this season is just to stay up. If we can stay up, then we've done our job. As Delap goes through, and Liam Delap from Manchester City puts us 1-0 up away against the Blades at Bramwell Lane, and that is a great counter-attack. And that's what we said about Plange as well, was just, can he find a way to get Delap through? Because I trust Delap more on the ball as the advanced forward. So who would have thought? We've got Sheffield sitting in 6th. We're sitting here in 24th, sorry, but with a -7 if we get the win today. The good thing about, not the good thing, but the positive of us being down the bottom with the negative points is that in order for us to get out of that situation, we're going to need a positive goal difference. So we'll always have the goal difference on our side if we can keep playing this type of football against the teams around us. So we should be able to, once we get into the positive points, we should be able to climb our way out, as Ndiaye scores a very nice goal. But it looks like it's going to be ruled out for offside, which I'm quite shocked about, because I was pretty confident that he was onside, but that does look a tad early. So we'll take that all day long. Now, the one thing I was meant to do was change that one roll from a DLP to a Carrillo, and I need to make sure that I save this tactic after we finish using it in this game, because I noticed that we're very narrow here, then we're relying on the fullback. So I just want these midfielders just to drift a little bit wider to try and help out building away from the midfield. So you can see there's our Mazzala there and Aziz. Birds there. What a ball to burn. Can we find a ball to Liam Delap? And he's there. And have we made it 2? I feel like he could have been offside there, but it looks like we've scored. It's Liam Delap who has scored a second goal, and that is exactly what we want to see, which is absolutely fantastic. We're going to give it one of these. There we go. We give it a C as well, just to make sure that we are on the right track. But here we go. 13 minutes in against Sheffield United away from home, and we are 2-0 to the good. That's exactly what we want to see. We don't want to concede right away, though, as that corner comes in. We've got numbers out if we can find it. That's a great ball, but we've found a way through our young left back to clear the ball. And this is how we've been playing. We've been creating chances, but we haven't been scoring them. And I looked at, Delap, and we know of his quality, and hopefully he's someone that we can maybe keep here at Derby for a few seasons, and we can see that growth with him. As we progress, hopefully we can either set up an affiliation with somebody, or we can at least just keep looking to loan in young English talent that are going to get us out of the Championship. That's my philosophy. We've got a great youth system here, which I'd like to know in the comments, if we've got any Derby fans watching. What's the youth system like at Derby anyway? Because we've got so many 5-star potential players. Is that because of the level of our squad? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. So you guys let me know what your thoughts are around where Derby's squad is at. But I think the youth system and the loan ability that we get, plus the odd free agent that we might be able to bring in to help settle the squad, is what's going to get us out of this position long term. We're going to have to look at whose contracts are expiring from the Premier League as well. We know that's going to definitely help us in getting to that next stage with this team as well. So 35 minutes in, we're looking pretty good at the moment. Nice and solid, compact defensively. As Ryan Brewster, we know he's definitely going to be one of the top goal scorers in the Championship this year. Finds Basham into Gibbs White, who's a very quality player for this league too, which is why Sheffield are touted to be one of the better teams, and that's some good football, but they haven't managed to put it away, and we will take that all day long. Look at the spread that they've got here. They're playing a 4-4-2 with traditional wingers, so they've got heaps of stretch, wing backs as well, so hopefully we should be able to hit Sheffield on the break as Lawrence puts in a very deep corner towards our defensive midfielder in Bird, who's been attracting interest from Arsenal. So it wouldn't surprise me if we potentially have to look at selling him in January, but that's what we're going to have to do in order to raise some funds if we want to bring some players in as well. Brewster turns Davies. That's not what you want to see, but Davies with the recovery speed, the former Premier League quality defender who's actually very good for the Championship, has done really well there. Can we clear that ball? It looks like there's a free kick to us, which we will take. And this is probably the one game that we haven't dominated, but been the main side in this game. But the positive is we've actually gone and scored 2 goals, which we haven't done in many games. We've struggled normally with the team on top, but we struggle to score. But in this game so far, we've sort of wrestled for that dominance, not really got it, but then we've managed to go on the break and score twice. But there we go, Burn, what a header towards Aziz, and we can't make them pay. But we've done enough there to create a good enough highlight, and that's all we need to see. We just need to see us be a competitive team at the moment. If we can stay competitive, that's the main thing. We find Plange, who finds Burn miles away, beats one, whips a ball in towards Liam Delap, and he needs to be our superstar in this team, does Liam Delap. That is a poor ball from Bird that puts Sheffield through. Are they going to create an opportunity here? Ball comes across. We've dealt with it quite well, actually, and we only find Davies. But this is a very, very long, extended highlight, which is what I don't want to see as Osborne's through, and Allsop makes the save. And we definitely need to look at another goalkeeper at some point here as well, guys, because he's a bit older and he's not the most amazing goalkeeper. So I'm kind of hoping we might be able to get lucky and develop one through our youth facilities, which would be fantastic, as Sheffield do make another attack here. But this could be our highlight. White finds Delap into Aziz. Can we just keep the ball? And Aziz gives it away this time. Our young midfielders are not helping us out here with the way they're playing. And that is a great ball from Stevens. And Davies doesn't clear it. And that is not ideal. That's definitely not ideal. Here we go. Can we find something? I don't want to say much at this point, but we might need to make a change in midfield just to get some fresh legs in there, which is what I'm going to do for young White. We'll give Jenkins a game, and that's all we'll do for now. We'll confirm that, and away we go. Can we find a third goal here? We really have not been the better team today. McGoldrick and Ndoye, you know, they're going to have a continuous threat. Aziz has been dreadful, and I think it's time for Aziz to potentially come off as well, because he really has struggled. We'll put Sibley in because he can play the Mazzala quite well from memory. Yep, that is one of his favoured positions, or roles, I should say. So get Sibley on for Aziz. It hasn't been his day today, but that's okay. That's what we're going to get with some of these younger players, is we're going to get inconsistencies, and that's fine. Stevens, though, finds McGoldrick with a good ball. Back out wide to Osborne. We just got to stop this ball from getting into the box, and that runs in front of the goal, and we'll take that all day long. Half an hour to play. I wouldn't mind the highlights stopping for a little bit and just letting this game run down a bit, but Jenkins gets himself on the ball. Can we see what quality we've got moving forward? That is a poor pass from Jenkins. This is a good press, though, from Sheffield. McGoldrick is through, and Allsop comes off his line, which he's not very good at, and has done well. Do we look to go long, or we're going to roll it out? We're going to keep the pressure on. We keep the pressure here, which is fine. Sibley on the ball. Lawrence, can we find that ball? He finds Liam Delap. He gets there before the keeper, but it's offside, and I did feel like it could have been offside as well. Let's praise the boys here. Can we just find something? We just need to find a bit of quality. Can we find a ball over the top here, an early ball in behind, or do we try and hold on to the possession? Here we go. We got the numbers in the midfield. Lawrence finds Sibley out to Burn with time and space. Can he get a good cross in? It goes across the box, and there's Luke Plange who scores his goal for us. There we go. Do I hit it twice? Okay, it does work. I was just checking whether that worked or not. So there we go. 3-1 up here against the Blades. What a result this would be if we can hold on. It looks like we've got a corner, which we don't see, which is an interesting highlight from FM. But this is the first game where, we've scored, 3 of 4 shots on target. We are never this clinical. Going to take Bird off as well, I think, in that defensive mid-role for young Thompson, who is one of our own. He's going to come and play the defensive midfielder on defend. He is only 5'9", but his mental stats are actually very good. Can we hold on here, fellas? Brand new engine room from the start of the game. I think we're missing just like an established younger centre-back at the moment. We are playing with quite experienced centre-backs, a bit older, that don't have the pace, and I do find that they get caught out of position a little bit too much for my liking. So doesn't bother me too much at the moment, but that's definitely something that I want to try and address next season. But here we go. It's Stevens finding Osborne. If Sheffield United score one here, then they're definitely back in this game. Osborne gets down the wing, finds Stevens into Fleck. We know of this quality. These are Premier League proven players. Osborne finds a header towards Gibbs-White, and now it's Lawrence. We've got numbers forward. It's Liam Delap who gets away from Robinson, but he's offside anyway. And that was actually well recovered by Robinson, the centre-back. But I'm very surprised to see Sheffield United playing in a 4-4-2. I'm not 100% sure who their manager is, but I'm assuming it's definitely not someone like Chris Wilder, who plays with his funky 3 at the back. Well, he's obviously at Middlesbrough anyway, but that's a ball. Sibley's through, and good save by Davies. With 15 minutes to play, are we going to hold on here? That's what we want to see. We've actually been really competitive, which is what we need to be seeing from this Derby team. We're playing good football. We're scoring goals finally. We're building up well. We're obviously going to make mistakes because the team is very, very young. I'm not expecting them to be perfect, but as long as effort's there, the intensity's there, and they're learning the shape and the structure pretty well, and they've learnt it pretty quickly, which has been nice because I've been tinkering a little bit, just like Ranieri, trying to find the right system. And I think with the fullbacks bombing on, I think the shadow striker works. The front three is what Damo pretty well uses in his save at the moment, with the advanced forward, the pressing forward, the shadow striker. His midfield 3 looks a little bit different to mine, and I think his defence does as well. So, trying to take elements from different teams, and obviously looking at the qualities that we've got versus what other teams can use, obviously makes a big difference as well. So here we go, 86th minute. I'm going to throw us on cautious mentality just to try and finish the game off. Gibbs-White, that's definitely offside. And I believe it is. Andre Mariner, the referee, acknowledges that that was offside. And are we going to find another set of 3 points here as we start to chase down Cardiff, West Brom, Coventry City? 14 points out of safety. As long as we win this game, we are definitely a shout to get out of this relegation zone, which is fantastic. And we're doing it the right way. We're not spending heaps of money. We're trying to be frugal. We're trying to get this club back on its feet. We've got some fantastic loan players in. We've got some fantastic youth players from our system. And maybe that's the approach we're going to go with. It's Liam Delap who wins the header, but unfortunately can't redirect it anywhere near the goal for us. But that should be about all she wrote. Byrne does really well. He's been very good at right back. Sibley's been great, either in the 10 or in that Mazzala role. Lawrence has the ball, finds Sibley in space. Sibley goes down. Was that a penalty worthy from Ender Stevens? But I don't think it matters. Davies is here. Look at this press from Sheffield United. Allsop goes long, and that should be the end of the game. And there it is. We've won 3-1 away from home at Sheffield United, who came into this game in 6th position. Absolutely fantastic. XG is 1.5 to 1.6. Played very, very well. We managed to get that possession back in towards the end of the game. Gonna have to think about how we use Aziz. He wasn't fantastic. Sheffield dropped down to 7th. We stay in 24th, but Cardiff are only on 4 points. West Brom only on 6 points. We still need to play Cardiff, Coventry, maybe Reading. We've definitely played Peterborough and Huddersfield, so we've got a lot of these middle teams still to play. So plenty of exciting games. There's Reading, so I'll probably play that one off of the recordings. But if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. I'm going to try and get through this season because we're obviously not going to go up. So I'm just going to try and give you guys a few different updates throughout the season. But if you're enjoying it, smash the thumbs up button. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you very, very soon for another episode here in Derby.